How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Q&A. Today we're joined with Mod Matt K.
Hi.
Mod Jed.
Hey.
Mod Kieran.
Hello.
Mod Ed.
Hello.
Mod Ash.
Hello.
And myself, Mod Archie. Lots of people today. We also have Mod West over there on the PCs who will be doing some sneak peek
I
of the
didn't even
week
see him over there. He's just hiding.
for the
He's been so
player on
quiet.
House stuff. Forward to that. Let's get into the questions then. First one's from Potty HD, who says, "Can you make it so we can change our spellbook back to the normal spellbook with the Lumbridge altar? This would fit perfectly, as you can change your spellbook with an altar and slash NPC with Lunaros, Ancients, and Necromancy."
Is he saying so the Lumbridge one is appropriate because there's an NPC next to the altar?
Probably because it's, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Well, it seems like the appropriate spot for the normal spellbook. It's the one that I would probably pick, I think. No?
It might take away a little bit from the things we're adding to improve changing spellbook.
Like that altar in the POH.
Yes.
Which is kind of what we're showing off today.
But
Oh, good.
It does make sense, because the thing that's powerful is switching to the other spellbooks more so than switching back to the normal one. But
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't rule it out.
not necessarily the Lumbridge altar, but somewhere might.
It might be appropriate to have to do something to the Lumbridge altar or to whatever altar to give it the ability to take away all these ancient magics or lunar magics you've picked up in strange foreign parts.
Maybe you have to bribe the Lumbridge priest to.
Yes, all that.
We have to visit all the other altars and charge it up once a week. So you can use it as much as you like each week.
Oh, I see.
And then you have to go to all the other altars at least once a week to collect
That's way
something
too
from
much
them
effort.
and then charge up that altar again for next week.
Do you know who's going to take the time to do that?
I'm not sure a weekly
me.
chore like that is quite what they're looking for here.
Maybe.
I think maybe wait until we release these altars with the construction update, and if the demand is still there, maybe something to consider then. But cool idea. Yeezy says, "New quest, Gertrude's dog, regarding the stray dog around Varrock West Bank." This had a lot of upvotes.
I love
Yes.
this, because
Definitely. It's going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
we
confirmed.
could have a whole family of quests.
Grandmaster Quest.
Gertrude's
Somebody actually replied and said, "Grandmaster Quest, it's been distracting people so there can be a massive bank robbery at the West Varrock Bank. Once the man
Basically.
returns."
Oh,
Basically, she wants 2 of every animal.
There's going to be a massive flood.
Oh dear.
We haven't had anyone go into the little cage underneath the bank, have we?
There must have been a bug for that.
I'm sure there has been a bug, but not legitimately gone into there. So stray dog, bank robbery, underneath the bank, something exciting happens, you drill holes in the walls, more goblins appear.
The amount of requests to do something with that dog, though, is to like, there's a lot.
If the quest ends in you killing it, I'm sure people would like it.
Maybe that's
Maybe we'll find it a home rather than
RS3
kill it.
did. RS3 did do that, I believe.
Did
And
they?
then
Oh.
they had
Killed
the.
it.
Oh, we better kill it.
No, they found it at home.
Oh.
Except there was still the diary task for feeding it a bone or something, and you couldn't because you found it at home and it wasn't there.
we kill a unicorn.
I kill lots of animals every day in games, so yeah, there we go.
All right. Well,
Maybe you could clean it, and if it's been cleaned, it stops following people around.
We could tie it up and just leave it somewhere.
this is getting much worse. Let's go to the next
Next to a
question.
bowl of water and a petrol. amount of
Maybe you
food.
should lure it to a nice, safe place.
Okay. We're going to the next question.
Or
That was a disaster.
you have to take it to a vet to give it an operation, and instead of a stray dog, it becomes a spayed dog. Moving on.
Okay. Be Moody says, "Let us use lava runes in place of fire runes for charging the trident."
The thing about the trident is that the runes come back out of it again if you die with it or if you uncharge it, etc. And since the trident's only got so much data space where it can store its data, gotta love the data, we couldn't remember, more than one combination of fire rune type things, so we had to just restrict you to one. Now, we could have made it be always lava runes and never let you put fire runes in at all, but we can't let you have a combination of some lavas, some fires, or put fires in and then decide you wanted it to be lavas instead. We would not be able to do that.
We could make it so you have to uncharge your fire runes and have it be just lava or just fires.
We could try
I
for
think we've
that.
got a spare bit, at least.
I do not remember what we put on that darn thing.
Yeah. But to be honest, that sounds fairly inconvenient. I reckon people would want to mix and match.
We also wanted to get some of the fire runes out of the game. It wasn't. It isn't, of course, a pressing thing, 5 rune sinks, but that's partly because of the trident, I suspect, and that was part of why it used 5 runes in the first place. So if it starts using the lava runes, which are a junk byproduct, that wouldn't be such a good sink.
Okay. Moving on. Von Duke says, could the Dark Totems get a buff in drop rate? Since the nerf, they are way too rare and the Catacombs lost any advantage over the Slayer areas.
I mean, the Catacombs have advantages of their own apart from this, although I have seen lots of complaints about the nerf to the drop rate, so it might be worth adjusting that to bring it up a little bit.
I'd be up for that. I raised it before when we increased the shards a couple of weeks ago, but at the time the feeling was that we should leave the totem well alone. I'm very happy to revisit that. And indeed the shards, they are quite rare for what they do.
There's one thing on the poll currently that's going to change the elite clue drop rate on Skatizo from potentially 1 in 50 to 1 in 5. I believe that's currently well over 80%, so it looks like it will probably pass. So that will make getting the totems more useful. So we'd have to bear that in mind if we were gonna change our rate. But I think there's still room to do so.
All right. There's an image with this next picture, or question. Mila says, potential raids range reward, dark short bow. So,
Nice picture.
That is well made.
It is in fact
They've literally halved it.
a short dark bow.
Yeah, they've got the shading in the middle quite perfectly right.
So a couple little notes here about use a knife on a dark bow with the instruction scroll in inventory. So you would receive instruction scroll from raids. MSB spec with dragon arrows. A couple question marks for things like degradable, and also what the range level requirement would be. Would it be the same? Would it be higher?
I'm in favour of degradable things just in principle because it means that there's a use for people to continue getting them.
If anything should degrade, it should be the normal that one. It degrades into 2 short bows.
Can we string it with the Kraken?
We can string anything you can pass a pole
You
with
attach
the
it to a
tracking.
circle and you get dark
Attach it to a
short bow.
circle.
I'm seeing a lot of yes, I'm seeing a lot of no, and I'm seeing a lot of maybe. Great. Thank you,
This is
chat.
One of the ones where Reddit and Twitch community is very quite strongly because it's had a lot of support. I'd like to see a straw poll
I'd love one.
if we can.
Would you like to see the dark short bow come to Old School Runescape?
I couldn't actually read that, but I assume it's not shooting 2 arrows at once, right?
No.
Okay.
Picture
Problem for the
a
spec.
stronger MSB with MSB spec that
Just
shoots
dragon arrows.
So stronger MSB,
And
I would think.
Yeah. And this was pitched as a raid reward, was it?
Yes.
Degradable as well.
Because there's been a lot of chatter lately about redwood logs, and if they could be used for fletching, you'd get a bow. And here is a design for a bow. On the other hand, raid rewards are good too.
Okay. Well, I'd have. He said a very high fleshing requirement. I added the degradable because I think that'd be a nice touch. But range level requirement is also a question mark. Yeah, look at that straw poll in the chat for you guys
I
momentarily.
reckon it would make sense to be the same level as dark bow, to be honest, in terms of range requirement.
Okay.
I think it'd be a bit weird if it wasn't. What is the dark bow range requirement?
There's 65, isn't it?
And magic bow is
50.
50?
I really hope
Yeah.
it's 65.
Okay, so it is a fairly high level requirement compared to magic.
All right.
Well, the short bow is a little lower than the long bows, though, requirement-wise.
Don't think so.
Fletching requirements, yes,
Yeah.
but not in range.
Not for using.
Okay.
All right. Well, we've
Not
got
for
the
that.
results back from that straw poll. So, would you like to see the dark short bow in Old School? 66% yes. Not a lot of support for that.
I've written it
But-
down. I think
It's,
Yeah.
it's on the pad.
Two
Yeah.
very different communities. We know the Twitch chat doesn't speak for all of Old School, but you guys don't really like that one. There you go. Moving on. Mudkipsing says, can we get a notification in the chat box when our kitten needs food or attention? Apparently
not
it's very
do
easy
that?
to miss.
I thought we did that.
I think we did do that.
You're missing that too. There you go.
it comes up with
Feed the cat.
your chat speaks to you, but obviously you can miss it very easily.
But there's
Does it
also
also
a,
give a message?
but it's also
something
more
recent,
recently. Yeah, Jed did that.
I don't
Didn't
know I
you?
did that, but I
Someone did
Maz did
that.
it.
Is he maybe filtering it or?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't made filterable.
Okay.
No,
There
we
you
didn't make
go.
it
Look at your
filterable.
chat box.
If it already exists, then don't need to go on the pad.
Either that or it needs to be made a different colour and find some way of making it
I
flash
think
in the
someone's
chat box.
feeling salty that that cat ran away.
If you just have it sit on the screen until you click a box to get rid of the message, that might be good enough for them.
If you die with your cat, it will run away.
We could make a giant cat face appear in the middle of your screen until you've done something.
Like
to
the
your
Barrow's
cat.
heads.
Yeah, like the Barrow's heads, only with a cat.
All right. Another one from Mudkipsing says, can we be able to... Sorry, yeah, that is the right question. Can we be able to store the Clue Hunter outfit in the player-owned house along with our Clue Scroll rewards?
You can already do that as well, I think.
Yes, you can. Who's asking these questions? Or did you take them from 10 weeks ago?
This was asked today.
In fact, that was added to the POH with release.
There you go.
So, oh well.
Here we like Mudkipsing.
Yeah.
Can you put the pieces in individually, or we've got to get the whole
It's
set?
the full
put in
set. Not including the helm.
it? Okay, there we go. That's probably the
I'm
way
gonna,
further down.
if once people actually find the helm, I might add the helm separately.
If people ever find
Yeah.
the
If
helm.
people find the helm.
Oh, no.
But I didn't want to add it to POH because I know a lot of people like to have every single slot full.
Yeah.
And
Not to feed conspiracy theories here, but did we actually launch the helm? You sure?
that's
Yeah, so
the-
I've seen somebody walking around with it in game.
that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did we launch the ability to dig it up in the right place, whatever it is?
Yes, that is launched. And it has been for
Or did we?
a couple of months now. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Let's not go there.
So I want, in 12 months' time, I want to be able to put out a news post that says, don't forget, no one's found this helm yet. It's still there.
I'm in
I'll be
that
happy.
I'm in that CC constantly, and it's quite hilarious.
I see you're almost posting spoilers, but not quite, just enough to give them hope.
you just say anything, and they think it's a hint. Like it's hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen
So
like
good.
Modcare and confirmations in that Google Docs.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, so they were looking at the little circle thing with the line through it, and talking about maybe we need to rotate it so many degrees. And I just said, I personally like to work in radians rather than degrees. And boom, everyone thinks now they need to do something with radians.
You really do
maybe they
not
do.
prefer Radiance in a game that has
I mean,
no
maybe they do.
floating
'cause I
point.
don't know how
Maybe
it's
they do.
solved.
You don't know. Well, you do know. They don't know.
All right, let's go to the next question then. Biomaster Zap says, as a reward for the Architectural Alliance mini quest, could we gain access to Great Karen teleport tablets? They'd be made by bringing an NPC the clay in runes, and they would be untradeable.
We're not polling Great Karen teleport tablets at the moment, are we?
I think we definitely chose to pull them. Haven't actually personally looked at the
Ronan?
poll. Yes, we are.
This is what I get. I missed
We
one
are
bit. It was
put.
off
Where's these questions coming from? Everyone we've already done.
Credit.
Get out of here. This is where I get so much crap, man. If I took the time to check every single question, I would be at this for like 3 days.
I blame Reddit. They should
Well,
be
I
asking
think the
better
next thread
questions.
on Reddit
Plus,
is
I was
what do you
off
do
it
for those 3
yesterday.
days?
Well,
You're not helping, Matt.
and then draw us a picture of it.
Yeah, all right. Booth says, instead of curses, which were for the most part flat-out upgrades to the current prayer book, what about a new prayer book with some significant downsides? These are cool ideas. So he says, an example would be no protect from item prayer. Wouldn't be one on the spellbook, or prayer book. Offensive prayers that reduce defense. Defensive prayers that reduce offense. Deflection prayers that increase damage taken from other types of damage, which is a really cool idea for
Yeah,
hybriding.
I like that.
The biggest downside to curses was that turmoil was essential for player versus player. Not having protect from item would hopefully prevent that.
I like the ideas. I mean, we need a substantial amount of them to make a new prayer book. We also need some substantial content for a prayer book to come from. But
Yeah, we could fill that.
that going in that direction works much better than just straight out buffing how good prayers are. Like the other spellbooks, they all offer different things. Sometimes there's a reason to be on Luna versus the normal spellbook or the others.
Yep. I'm ignoring the nose right now. All right. Next question then. Person says, can we finally get a fire-making guild and make it a mini game? What? He wants a guild and a mini game where players commit arson on houses and another team that are firefighters have to run around with buckets of water and put out the flames.
Do you reckon
good
you'd
Q&A.
get anybody on the other team, though? That's the thing. Everybody just wants to set fire to houses.
What experience do you get from putting out a fire? That's not fire-making.
Yes, indeed. Throwing water
You
and
lose
stuff.
5 AP.
This would be a very
Other
funny
player lose
guild.
fire-making
Maybe it could be
experience,
sort of a water magic spell thing.
yeah. Okay, let's get to a real question.
Or we can make the Winter Chant the fire-making guild.
Well, to be honest,
maybe.
it's the main fire-making content we're planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we could have it so the NPCs are trying to put it out, and you have to set different fires to different buildings in order to make the distance the NPCs have to travel the longest between them, so you can burn down the most before you get caught.
So you're effectively doing a sort of endurance training for firemen as a firemaking guild.
Yes.
To me,
Sounds
I think a firemaking guild is just going to be a lot of rows, which I'm just big enough to do a full inventory of blocks with a bank at both
bank on either
sides.
end, yeah.
And one little git with a bunch of flowers.
Okay. Starbuck says, can all of the guilds in the game have the invisible +7 boost as well, instead of just the woodcutting guild? And then the question on top of that is, what about the warriors guild?
I would not want to do it to the Warriors Guild.
Yeah, cool place to train.
It would, but you try the code. All the other ones.
Okay.
All the ones that involve actual resource
Yeah,
gathering and
that's gonna
such
turn
like,
out.
you know, your mining guild, which could do with a feature or two. Then, yeah, we can do that. We can just adapt the logic what I wrote for your woodcutting guild.
I think it is more probably on a case by case than a blanket thing. And I would like to do changes to the mining guild.
Crafting might be a bit of a disappointment because the amount of the things you do in terms of crafting in the crafting guild, you almost don't fail.
It's a mining guild.
Yeah, like-
And in fact, it's probably more useful as a mining guild
Well,
than the
quite.
mining guild is.
So things you can fail in crafting include pottery.
Crushed
Not
gems.
crushed gems. So it could be the place where you go and do that for the invisible stat boost. Yeah.
Okay. I think there's an image with this one as well. My name is Mo says, can you fix the color difference between the trimmed and untrimmed diary cape? It's a side-by-side picture there. One is slightly more vibrant than the other. Broken.
Graphics.
Mod West.
He's nodding.
He nods.
He nodded. Yes, you can fix it. There you go.
That's good. All right. OSRS needs free to play. Says, can the coins used to repair untradeables be used on an NPC instead? This was
I'm
something
going
we thought
through
of.
to make that change currently.
Is that
after the
what we
feedback.
wanted to do in the end then? Because we had that idea in the beginning.
Yes, and it was raised for convenience, especially when you're running to pick up your stuff, and even more so in PvP worlds, that going to Purdue could be annoying. And wanting people to get back to PvP ASAP, it makes sense to be as convenient as possible, hence just the repair option. Right. But there's been enough feedback, so I'm currently going through and changing it so that Purdue will, yes, repair your stuff, but in PvP worlds, next to all the chests and the major spots like Farrock West Bank and the GE, there will be an armor stand that you can repair them on as well. So that ideally, you don't need to go all the way to Purdue, which is in a dangerous location as well.
I like that idea.
That's really nice. Keeps
Yeah.
it convenient while having the same functionality.
Cool. All right. Next question then. End of End says, with the upcoming construction update, can you allow guests to enter an Iron Man's house and allow Iron Men to enter other houses with the same restrictions? So no experience or anything like that.
The thing about those restrictions is that there's a lot of content in POH, and trying to carve it all out and make sure we never accidentally add anything that doesn't have a check is not the kind of thing we can easily guarantee. It's well, a lot safer for the restrictions if we just leave it that you can't go in the house at all. That will protect us from 95% of the things that could ever really go wrong in future. So while I appreciate it'd be really nice, I'm afraid that's not something we're trying to build into this construction update. It's quite a big construction update as it is, and it's taking a lot of code. So back building in, just this one more rewrite of other things, and just one more rewrite of this, and it's not going to come out if we keep stopping to build in all the other construction-related thoughts we might have at this time.
It's really awesome
Sorry.
what you got so far.
Oh, thank you.
Really liking it.
I think what he particularly likes is that when you're previewing a room before you build it, normally you can just see the doors where the new room's doors will be, and that's not very useful because you can't tell which way round some of these things are, like a dining room with the doors at the two ends. So I spent most of yesterday making it so that it shows most of the hotspots, and so that you can preview this is where the altar will be in your chapel, and where the organ will be, and also where the doors will be, so that most of the time when you're building a new room, you've got a better idea of where the furniture is going to end up being. Oh, and also, if the room's only the room's got 4 doors. Currently, it doesn't preview at all because whoever wrote it assumed you wouldn't care which way round the room was. Except you do care which way round the room is, and I think we've all been there deleting the garden and trying to rebuild it from a different angle so that you get your portal lined up the way you want it to, facing your altar or something. So I've let it preview those as well and rotate them. So that's what I've been working on lately. Now I'm getting down to that menu that we promised, and boy, is that going to be difficult. Anyway, so no, I didn't try to rewrite it to make Iron Man safe, sorry.
Yeah, that's a good answer, I think. Moving on. Third Night says, can an activity bar be added to the fishing trawler minigame?
Honestly, this is just a big joke.
Tell me that wasn't
this is on the
just
poll
Yeah, it's
right
pretty
now,
cool.
and it's also going to include Iron Man access to fishing trawler.
I have a feeling what's going on here is that they wrote their questions before the poll
Is that
was really
question?
seen.
I think so, yeah. Just the Iron Man. That's the way the question, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Isn't it, really?
Maybe we get our poll questions from this thread, though.
I'm going to
Could be
say
the other way
again,
around, right?
because Ronan was off on Tuesday, I was off yesterday, I wasn't here to see all this. This is me getting roasted for something I couldn't stop.
I think it suggests that we've got the right stuff in the poll.
Yes,
it
it's a
does.
good.
It's good. It's good. I'm just getting destroyed. Sorry. I'm scared to ask questions. All right. Let's see here. Panos Godsword says, will we ever see the 2005 overlay that was being talked about a while ago?
That wasn't in the poll. You're okay.
I think it's more like 2006, but yes, I do want to see that. It is not a small job and does not fit very easily in with the little quality of life stuff, like right-click options here and there. But it's something I do want us to do.
We've got the assets, don't we?
We do, mind you. You can get the assets by just taking an old screenshot off Google Image Search and chopping it up a bit, which somebody's kindly done for us already.
There you go.
The tricky bit, by the way, that's making it take so long is that it would need us to rewrite the chat box to handle the different size and different borders. Because while most of the other stuff is very modular, the chat box has never had to vary like that before. That is not going to be easy.
Never would have thought, probably, when you released Old School, that people would say, great, now make it look older.
Oh, we did think that all right, because, well, we didn't get a lot of choice about when the archive point was for Old School.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It was that. I think we've still got. I think Mike's still got the disc that it came from sitting on his desk. We should
Well,
take a picture of that at
should
some
frame
point.
that,
and,
yeah.
yeah, I think Ronan needs to stick that out on Twitter at some point.
We've already done that at some point.
Have you? Ah,
I've seen
that's
an
good.
image of it before.
Can't do a repost, so yeah, that's it. All right,
I
next
guess
question.
would we need new assets for all the things we've added to the interface as well, wouldn't we?
Well, that's the thing, like chat channels, it didn't have them. One assumes that the players would want chat channels still to be available to them.
Yeah.
But I think that wouldn't be too much of a problem. Like the number of chat tabs at the bottom can be adapted, and I don't see us having a problem there. It's just the amount of space for the chat box itself that needs rethinking.
Okay. Just another Iron Man. Sorry, have Iron Man a new name? It's automatic. No. Have easy/medium/hard/elite clues. Only give a casket when it's the reward, just like
I've got a bad
Masters.
feeling about this.
I hate to say it, but
I send these questions around. No, I send these questions around quite early before the stream. I say, hey guys, give these a look. Let me know if there's anything that needs changing.
We've been coordinating a game
Nobody
update.
looks at them.
We've been coordinating a game update, mate.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
All right.
Well, at least it saves us answering laboriously, or saying the usual, we could do if there's time, or it needs engine features.
Next week we
Much
should just
better this
literally
way.
look at the questions for the poll and list them all as the Q&A questions.
I'm never going to be sick on a Wednesday again.
Cool.
Valk93 says, add the Karen catacombs to the Slayer Ring locations. Don't.
it's not on the poll.
We did nearly put it on the poll. We were very close to putting it on the poll.
We decided we do the Karen teleport tablet instead.
Yeah.
So it nearly got onto a poll. It's not
Yes, it was going to be one or two other.
Dodged a bullet there. Utility Bread says, a special target dummy that you will always hit your max hit on, but offers no experience. No way.
You're pretty much listing the meeting we had yesterday, one by one.
This is remarkable.
But we decided that we wouldn't be able to do that one because
No, this is on
No,
the
we
poll.
didn't.
it's on
We-
the pod.
We decided it would be very difficult, but Kieran said he didn't mind all of the very laborious work it would take, so he's going to do it.
As long as I'm not doing
We've listed it as in P or H though,
it. Okay.
so it'll have to come after your update.
It's probably going to. Yeah, I'm adding the ability to have 8 hotspots per room rather than 7, and increasing the variety of furniture you can have in each hotspot massively.
Yeah, I saw that tweet go out and I thought that's going to make things exciting.
Well, it's taken a fair bit of time, but I think it's going to buy us a lot of yes answers in future questions
Just think about
rather than
it.
all the
Every
no
week
answers
we
we've
have
had to
something
give.
come up for construction, and now we can say yes.
And then we can say engine. But no, we should be able to do a lot more of these things, including this one.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can program the darn thing, because there's a lot of custom attacks it's going to need to understand about.
Yeah.
A few more questions here, then we'll head over to Mod West's sneak peek of the week. Next question's from Scarborough. Says, toggleable option to tell you whether or not the player you've added has added you back or not.
You know, there's a lot of our chat system that's been kind of designed around not revealing what other people do or don't have on their
Asking
friends
for
lists.
heartbreak.
Just hovering over his desk.
Why did you delete me?
Go into their clan channel, and if you can't get in, assume they haven't been added.
Or they just don't have one made. All right.
For what it's worth, chat features that aren't already in the engine are not always things we can get so easily as other engine features. Because the chat system's shared with RS3 and all other Jagex products out there. So if we ask for a rewrite for our reasons, then all the other teams better want to spend that kind of dev time and testing time as well. So we've got less flexibility than usual for that.
One thing I would like to do with the friends list is to allow people to sign up in with their Facebook, Twitter, or whatever accounts, so that people can actually see if they know people in real life who actually play RuneScape as well.
It's like an instant docs in-game.
Yeah.
We're
I
not a
think that'd be
dating
quite
site.
I think that'd be quite cool. I'm
That's
sure there's a lot of
scary,
people out there who have a load of people who don't know play RuneScape, and just because they don't mention it publicly, that
We'll link your Tinder account.
yes, Tinder account as well. Yeah, we'll do that.
Out them all at once.
But obviously with permissions and stuff.
God, I bet there's some interesting Snapchat channels out there that would turn up.
Okay.
Yeah, indeed. Snapchat,
That's going on the
Twitter.
notepad.
It's not going on now.
Well, we've already got people signing in with their Facebook accounts, haven't we? So
Yes, yeah.
some of that data is already connected to Jagex.
Exactly, yeah. That'd be quite a cool thing to see.
Google
Answer that
Plus,
one about
anybody?
Australian servers that's on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, answer Australian servers beginning of August. Is the
Oh,
current
cool.
plan for Australian servers.
Isn't that soon?
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Given that the question was where are the Australian servers, I really want to point out they'll be in Australia.
Well, you say that.
Yeah, they won't.
No, they probably. I don't know where they're going to be, but they probably will be in Australia. But yeah, beginning of August is the, or early August is the plan with them.
We tried Singapore servers a long time ago to give better service to Australia, but I don't think it worked out very well for anybody.
No, it was Australia talking to Singapore. I think had the issues over there. The whole region's controlled by Telenet, Telstar.
Telstra.
So yeah, that could be the one.
Oh, is it one of those things where there's one company who owns it all?
Yes, yeah,
That's surprising.
and they've got a monopoly over there, so it's been quite difficult to get our thing working over there.
We do need some pretty specialised stuff for an old school server to be protected the way it is.
Yes, yeah, no, it is a big job to make happen, but the guys have been working on it, and hopefully it should be with us soon. It's wonderful.
On the topic of servers, do you know much about the DC lately?
Yes, yeah, they're working on it. It is. We are being attacked again. Significant attacks which are having almost no impact, very little impact. I mean, the sort of level of this stuff would take most games offline completely, but we're able to cope with it quite so well. And they're working on it, and they're getting these things happening. But to give people are being affected on occasion, but the level of attack compared to the impact on the players is so different. It's
Compared to 2014, when the whole game was effectively not there,
Yes.
it's definitely improved. And it takes a pretty darn big attack to get anywhere near us these days.
exactly. So there is an impact that some people see, but it's not as big as it used to be, and work will continue to make that less and less and less.
All right.
Does that mean we could be talking about those death mechanics?
Death mechanics haven't changed, have we? They're all still in place.
They're certainly in place.
Precisely for this reason. I mean, I saw somebody posting on Reddit at one point saying, "Oh my God, we can't go anywhere without losing everything. It's like, well, that's why the death mechanics are the way they are.
Yeah. We certainly haven't changed them back. We'd give copious notice before it and also poll a few options about maybe what to put them back to.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So there'll be an awful lot of things going on there, but yeah, there's a reason why we haven't touched them, and DDoSing is going to be an issue forever, I'm afraid. There's going to be no alternate solution for it.
No, don't say that.
Sorry, but
Offline RuneScape.
that's the real
Crush my
world, you
dreams.
know, that's the world we live in. It's a constant arms race between good and the bad, and we just have to keep playing it.
All right.
Sorry, sad news, but that's the real world.
Buzzkill.
Sods and all that.
Let's go to one from Dat Boy, who says, anything exciting to announce at RuneFest this year?
Yes, you can watch RuneFest, we'll tell you.
That's probably why they're announcements. They wouldn't really be announcements if we announced them here,
No.
I guess.
No, we'll tell you at RuneFest. If you watch RuneFest, there'll be all sorts of exciting stuff we're talking about there.
It's all live stream.
Yeah.
All right. Wheezy says, is it possible to make whoever is attacking you in a group show at the top of the group? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. There's something of the sort being built into the engine to support bounty targets a little better. May be possible to adapt to work for generally whoever's last attacked you. Although, if, like I say, it's a group and there's lots of people, then that person who last attacked you is going to be changing back and forth like a yo-yo, and it might be a very curious effect that isn't quite as helpful as you'd hope it would be.
Only people who can vote no to this is the massive teams.
Yeah, I can just see it being useful in single.
Yeah.
But then,
I swear we already do something similar for clicking when it comes to your target. If somebody was standing on your fight, you would still always click through to your target.
Indeed. We got that feature added to the engine for the bounty target system, and we also went and applied it in the duel arena.
So,
That's right.
I don't have a problem with trying to make it work for more generally the person who last attacked you anywhere. I just think that if we're talking about groups, it may not be as powerful as we were hoping.
Okay. I think it's about time to move over to Mod West with the sneak peek of the week, yeah? So we'll go over now.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the sneak peek of the week. So this week we'll be showing off the altars to swap your spellbook. So this is the first one, this is the ancient altar. I based this off of the limestone altar and just thrown a few Zarosy themed things. So one of the materials to create it will be the Ferroscepter, as you can see there on the table. So I thought I'd show it off. It's quite a cool scepter. And the sigil on the back will be quest locked, so when you complete Desert Treasure, you'll be able to get this, and it will also be an ingredient. So you can't build the altar without, of course, completing the quest. And yeah, just do a little 360 around it. Cool. So the next one is the Dark Altar. This is again to the Zaya Spellbook. So again, I've done something with the resources used to create it. So this one is Soul and Blood. So with this one, I've got like a little bowl of blood on one side and a little bowl of soul on the other side, and also like a crystal that looks like the dark crystal, and some runes. And yeah, colours that sort of look like Arceus, as well as the Arceus sigil. I think this will be locked behind 100% favour. So that's a cool little thing. The next one, I'm going to go into the animator. It's the Lunar Altar, to change the Lunar Spellbook. So again, for this one, I wanted to do different from the previous altars. So instead of going for the limestone route, I went for like a more of a wooden look, because that's kind of what Lunar Art looks like. And the reason I'm in the animator is because I wanted to make it look floaty, just a lot of things do in Lunar Art, so I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, chat seems to like that one, that's good. And the final one, which is my favourite, let's just close this and open up. Other altar, where is he? There it is. Okay, so this is the one that's combined all three of them together.
wow.
Ecumenical.
I really like this one. This is my favourite. I tried to not make it too busy, but at the same time, being as I need to represent all three spellbooks, it's quite hard to make it not busy. But hopefully I succeeded. Unfortunately, all of the spellbooks are kind of have a purple theme running through them, so there's no like overly clashing colours. So yeah, and the final animation for this one is that.
I really like that.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
seems to be well received. Awesome. And yep, that's everything for the sneak peek of the week this week. And I'll throw it back over to Kat.
It's so good. I'm blown away by all this construction stuff. It's incredible. Cool. Any more info we can share with that? Actually, I saw people asking about the requirements and nothing we can share
I
yet.
don't know any of the info.
I think a lot of
posted all that in the blog.
dev blog.
Yes.
I can't recall them off the top of my head though.
All right.
But I believe the rooms.
Around 80.
Yeah, the rooms are high level rooms, 70 and 80-ish.
All right.
I look forward to working on those. So far, the only new furniture I've added is the tip jar that's coming out with this. A place where you can just put some money and it goes to the host of whoever's house it was.
Okay, going to the next question then. Lugaria says, when are the dragon spear changes happening?
Well, I'd hope for next week.
Yeah, me too.
That's exciting. Goblin, can we have the ability to feed cats that aren't ours?
There's an obsession with cats.
Every now and then I'm just going through questions and I'm like, ooh, haven't asked that one
Maybe
before.
after you complete Gertrude's dog, that's a reward.
How about if you have your cat when you're fishing and you know you do your stick your hand in the water fishing and drop all the stuff on the floor, it just eats from that? Rather than you actually having to feed it, it just hooves it up afterwards.
Because, yeah, this would mean you'd have to be able to click other people's pets, right?
You would have to be able to click other people's pets,
Yeah.
which you currently cannot.
That's horrible. No.
Yeah.
that seems like a very solid reason for it now.
Okay. Moving on.
Maybe if you use the food on the owner of the cat, it automatically transfers to the cat.
We give it an animation.
Why do you want to feed other people's cats?
You see a cat that somebody's not feeding, the cat's going to die, you want to save it.
Maybe they're trying to get rid of it.
There's not for that.
All right.
Okay.
The Adamena says, besides the cash reward, will there be any other rewards from Last Man Standing?
We're looking to get, if people remember, there was a cape that was shown off for a potential treasure char award, which had like a PK skull on the back. We're going to get a tiered version of that cape, so based off your rank, you'll be able to get a nicer looking cape. And you'll be able to wear this cape in the minigame or outside of the minigame. On top of that, we're not too sure of other awards that would be applicable, but we're open to suggestions.
Sure. If you've got any ideas, send them my way. Cosmetic or not, but
Berserker shield.
Yes.
yeah. All
One
right.
of those.
Speaking of Last Man Standing, let's go into the feedback. So, just launched the second beta now. Any more changes you'd like to make before the full release?
Yes, there's tons of feedback coming in, which we expected by opening it to everyone. That's what we wanted. We want your feedback. So if you find something that you think could be improved, definitely put that on the feedback thread, which is on Reddit at the moment, or drop it on the forums. I believe we put a post up for that. We made quite a few changes based off the first beta, so things like the token system and fairer spawns, that's all come from player suggestions. So we're definitely open to making more based off new player suggestions. So please do send through feedback. I was going to address some other things as well. So things I have seen, people asking for higher tiered gear. So at the moment we go from mithril up to potentially whips and dragon skims. We'd like to bring everything up by at least one tier. So start at adamant or rune and then work your way up. Just in this 1v1 style combat that we have at the moment, this would definitely work better. Spawn points, people have said they've occasionally had a bad spawn. Send through a screenshot or something of these bad spawns and we can try and address those. And we can also look into addressing this spear, which people are saying it's worse than having nothing. So we will look into that, but I can assure you there are definitely stats on it, so it shouldn't be worse than that.
I got a really odd bit of feedback in myself about that spear, saying to help with the problem with boxing, make it so you can't unequip that spear except by equipping a different weapon once you've got the spear. I wasn't expecting that feedback.
Yeah, if boxing becomes an issue, which we haven't seen much of it yet, but with the initial rush, it's to be expected, then we can look into ways of addressing that.
Some people think this spear is so bad it's actually better off 2 blocks.
That might work.
Well, that's where they were going with it.
And it is a beta, and the whole point of a beta is that it's there for you guys to test and to play around with and give us your feedback. So if you want to go out there and try boxing, you're more than welcome to do that and give us your feedback how you get on, whether it is bad for the game, what have you. So please do utilise that.
And if everybody else in the game calls you really, really annoying because you're boxing, then just explain Matt told you to.
Yes, yeah, exactly. You're allowed to.
So how do we feel the single way is going?
It's gone really well, I think.
It's gone well. People have asked for a few multi-zones dotted around the place, which is obviously something we could look into for the full release. But what I really wanted to do was have all multi the first time, and then people want a single, so we do all single, see how that goes, and then we can find like a nice middle ground.
I think maybe putting some of the larger areas of chests in a multi-area so they're riskier might make some sense there, but I'm sure we have a few different ways of going about it. I played a little bit earlier, it was tons of fun, so I'm glad the chat agrees with me that it's beta as well.
Yeah.
Beta.
It's a nice beta.
Yeah, also do send through any bugs you find, because that is, as we said before, like that's a big point of this beta, is there are things we can't actually test, we just don't have enough people to test them. So I think we found some strange matchmaking issues earlier on.
Yeah. There is still potentially an issue where if you are waiting to join a game, you will get into a game a lot faster if you're stood in the northeast corner.
Don't say that.
Panic buy northeast corner.
Yep.
We need to delete the northeast corner.
We told them earlier in the game, and everyone just said we were trolling them, so people probably think I'm lying now, and it's actually the opposite, but...
Panic buy southeast corner.
Didn't we solve this?
We improved it considerably.
improved
It used to be that you really did want to be in that northwest tile. Jed's managed to randomise it considerably more, but it's still biased towards the north rather than the south.
Standing in the north.
Randomise
Lots of planets have a north.
It's just
Or,
good.
as I keep suggesting, just have one tile.
Yeah, I watched that last night, ironically. So that was that.
It's a good line.
So there was a couple of other changes. You extended the fog-free area at the end, right? To a 3x3?
Yeah, so that's changes that have gone through today. So some people noticed that it shrinks down to one tile, and then that tile is safe. So really, if there's a few of you left, you couldn't fight it out to finish the game. You kind of just had to stand there and wait. That has now been solved. We've got, I think, 7 tiles in every direction. So go for that.
And any changes you're looking to make aside from adding multi before release, which is potentially next week?
We can look into it as things come in, really. That's how we're doing it at the moment. So there is a feedback thread on Reddit. Do post there.
But it's been so useful as a stress test, because this is open to everyone. The world's peaked at well over 1,500 people all trying to join games at the same time, and that's nothing we can do.
Yeah, well, things like that issue where one tile is better than others, we'd have never found that without having literally 500 plus people sat on it.
And if we know it can handle that many people, we should be good. So
what are we doing to... Cause obviously, I saw a few people mention about clans and stuff. What are we doing to split up clans?
So at the moment, the purpose of that randomisation, which is causing it to be difficult to get into games, that is to tackle clans. So basically, without going into too much detail how it works, it chooses people at random once it's selected someone in the game who it's going to choose the first player to go in. And hopefully that should break people up. We've also made it so there's a minimum cap on how many people have to be ready for a game before it will start looking. So I think there's 60 people minimum. And so there should be enough variation that a whole clan have a very slim chance of getting it together.
All right. Let's go on to the next question then. Afri says, can we stun the Dark Core with Emerald Bolts Enchanted based on our range level? So for example, 80 range would give you an 80% chance to stun, 50 range, 50% chance, etc.
earlier, Matt, we were discussing adding the crossbow bolts to every single type.
You know, I'm up for things that involve crossbow bolts and them being more useful than otherwise.
Yes.
Certainly.
Given the way they go about stunning it, though, it's going to be a funny-ass hack, but yeah, why not?
I mean, in terms of all the enchantments, could they be based on range level?
I would be
Balance.
cautious about that.
Yes. The ruby bolt one scares me. D-Bolt one as well.
We could scale them based on ranging level, but I wouldn't go with 99% with
No,
any of
certainly.
them apart from that
Yes.
on the corp, and even
They'd
then
all be
only
balanced
maybe.
differently. But
All right. Altier Blade says, can we anticipate existing quest lines, at least some, to have their storyline fulfilled? After grinding up my quest cape, I noticed many holes that I would love to have solved, notably the Myrequi, however you say that name, Plague and Dwarf series, among many.
I used to think it was Myrique when I was young.
We just did the pronunciation video, I forget already.
It's named after the maquis from French history, that resistance movement, named partly to sound like maquis, and also, so you've got the word mire in it because they live in a swamp.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's also the name of an organisation in Star Trek Voyager.
That's when I recognised it from.
Yeah,
it's
they
a
were named
monarchy,
after
yeah,
the
that's right.
French resistance thing. The developer who wrote the Marquis stories was more likely to know the history than about the Star Trek.
Wow, there's no accounting for taste, is there?
It's unusual in this line of work.
I think we've lost the question.
The answer was quest. You want to see quests finished. I think
Yeah.
we cover this quite regularly, don't we, really? Which is we can finish quests if quests are priority for players to do. I think we've got a priority poll coming in the not too distant future, haven't we? Which will be quite a good thing to see where it falls in with that. Whether a quest for an existing quest line or a brand new quest line or something on sale, which I think is our preference at the moment, is the right way to go first. We'll see.
Right.
Or Gertrude's dog.
Gertrude's dog, yeah.
True dog, yeah.
All right. What he says, please lower the protective value on untradeable items, example being the lumberjack outfit, that are not PKing related, saying lumberjack outfit protects over the dragon hatchet.
Can do.
Seems logical.
Seems
doesn't it?
reasonable.
Yeah.
Nothing against that. Because you're just going to keep them elsewhere, and they're going to be easy to get back if you die with them elsewhere as well. So,
Speaking of which, somewhat similar, we released the untradables breaking, obviously, today. Was trying to find some feedback on that. Wasn't finding a ton of it, so please do let us know what you think of that if you've been
if players
PKing
aren't
and bounty
complaining
hunting.
about it,
Yeah, nobody's complaining, but
No one's talking.
I can't
It's
find
usually a good
much
thing.
at all.
Yeah.
Ronan's tweeted the list of their effective prices for this purpose. So if you look at Jagex Ronan, you'll find the list.
Also on
So you know
Reddit
what
as
you're
well,
dealing
I
with.
think.
yeah. So we
Good.
first published the list last night. I got feedback on it overnight, and then this morning tweaked some of the prices.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're about right now.
Decided to change the fire cape from 75k to 50. Void almost doubled in price, actually, up to 160k for the full set. Starting to get about the same price as a typical Zerker set with rune and whatnot. So, yeah, I think it's really good if you're really good at PKing.
Yeah.
Probably not so good if you're not so good.
Well, that's the point, I think. isn't it?
Yeah.
The point is to discourage using untradables for no risk. So
Yep. I think there's more risk now, all right?
certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. Mickey says, can we have a loot from 10,000 demonic gorillas stream?
Ooh.
What do you think, Ronan?
Yes.
Didn't we
Yes.
Yeah.
He says
do
yes.
this?
We definitely didn't do that.
We
Ronan,
didn't do
did it.
10,000.
We both did it.
We
Well,
didn't do
10,000,
10,000.
did we? We did 1,000 each.
I know I programmed a
Same.
thing that made monkeys spawn from the sky and drop dead on your foot or
Yeah.
whatever. But we didn't do 10,000 of them yet.
How about 1,000 master clues?
That's more topical.
Yeah.
I think me and Ronan were just potentially discussing doing that next week.
Next week already.
On Wednesday.
Yeah,
And
we'll
that's
tighten that up a bit.
And that can go with the big reveal of what the rates are for some stuff that they want to know about.
Yes.
Do it
I was
all
gonna
at the same
say-
time, can't we?
What might be kind of cool is we are going to have some pretty big influencers around, streamers, YouTubers, a lot of people you guys know. Oh, that'd be kind of cool to see one of those guys do something like that. I think
Yeah.
a friend opens 1,000 master clues, something like that. Moving on then. Awesome says,
For 10 hours.
have
24-hour
precautions
opening
made. Have precautions been made for the tip jar in the upcoming construction update? He's worried it's dangerous and people might be able to dupe money.
Yeah.
Did you take any precautions?
Oh, lots of
No precautions were taken. It just straight up dupes it.
Yeah.
Well, you
Right click, there's a
know.
right click dupe option.
It would have been possible to have a bug where, you put the money in, but as the host disconnects, they don't receive it, so the money goes into nowhere.
It's almost
But,
a dupe.
well, it's like a dupe, only the other way. Well, we've checked for that kind of thing and tried to make sure that the money goes, once it's in there, it's held by the host and doesn't, go missing if they delete the furniture at the wrong moment. I reckon it'd be all right. Certainly it's biased in favour of the money going into Oblivion rather than going to be duplicated.
It's probably for the better.
I'm optimistic. I mean, if you're worried about it, don't build one.
We've done plenty of things with like money into coffers and.
Yeah, it's a
That
lot
sort of
safer
thing.
than Nightmare's own coffer, actually. That one's got all manner of duping potential if it goes wrong.
Oh dear.
They were saying
There's a lot of money in there.
I think it's been
We have a new
enough stress
task for
now.
the last man standing testers is to try and dupe the money in the coffer. I think you start with 10 mil in there. So yeah.
Yeah.
An easy way to dupe the money in that is just keep winning the matches.
That goes into a chest.
You're not duping anything because other people are losing it.
All right. Soft says, could the ranged skill cape have the same stat as the Ava's accumulator? Granted, the quest is completed. The cape is a symbol of the accomplishment, but makes no sense to use if the accumulator is better.
For it to have different stats based on your quest state is not so straightforward.
It would require a second set of the range capes. There's
Effectively,
already
yes.
2.
It requires another set.
Well, yeah, for it to have the same item with different stats means different item that just looks the same. We try and swap back and forth based on which one we think you need at the time, which is not so straightforward. It's like all those requests to let members' items, members' skill capes exist on free-to-play, but give them different stats on free-to-play.
Yeah, none of the skill cape perks allow you to get different stats on your capes. They're just little perks. And obviously the ranging one does make sense to give you the Ava's effect, but it's not going to give you the stats. And I don't really want to look to change that anyway.
While we did duplicate the skill cape that gives you weight reduction effects,
Yeah.
that was only possible because the game's already set up for lots of items with weight reduction effects, where we've got 2 versions of it, one for your inventory with no weight reduction and one when you're wearing it, which does reduce your weight. There's a lot of code for that, but there's
that's very
nothing to
easy.
make the ranging skill cape do what's described
We
here.
know exactly where the cape is when it's happening. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So not so optimistic about that one.
Okay.
Is there something wrong with the printer, by the way? Because that looks awful.
What?
This piece of paper in your
Yeah,
hand.
it's printed into bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Printer was
Okay.
I
bad.
say it in a
I
way
mean,
not so
printing
nice.
black text on white paper, that's like a printer's bread and butter.
Well,
It's testing my
printing-
reading.
It
skills
looks like
here.
it's been on something.
Ink smudged. That's all. All right.
You feel so good right now. Because you did that transition.
I didn't mean to do the transition.
You did the transition and people loved it.
What transition was that? I missed it. Yeah. Oh,
It's like your off-site PowerPoint
they
presentations.
are. They're special. They're known for their transitions. Turn it into a bird and let it fly off. Go on.
You deserve a promotion, Ronan.
It's like-
That's revolutionary.
Well, it's like the editing in Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true.
Should we go on to the next question?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
You probably ought to.
Slimy says, can the ham members' loot when thieved drop to the ground after filling up your inventory? This was implemented in RS3 and it saved headaches after constantly dropping your inventory.
EOC was also implemented in RS3. That's not a great argument.
Well, there's a defence there.
Yes, if we change the behaviour of ham pickpocketing, it will bring EOC.
I think that's a no. We can add a deposit box.
Okay, I'm just going to go to the next
I'm
one.
not sure they want so much to keep the items as
Yeah.
to...
Yeah, I know they don't want to keep them, but it would get rid of them from the inventory, allow them to pickpocket, and then they can get rid of them all in one go with the incinerator that you added.
What we could do is add a sort of anti-pickpocket option to other ham members where you stuff all the crap from your inventory in their pockets as a thieving activity. And then what goes around can come around.
Really, what ideally they would just want, when you pickpocket a hand member, the only thing you can get is a clue scroll, and everything else automatically destroys.
Okay.
But
We've lost
is
the
it
chat.
that powerful if they drop to the floor? I don't think that would be the end of the world.
What do other things do for the pickpocketing? Most things just fall on the ground, don't they? Or did we go and put in
I
inventory space
believe
checks?
there's in-space checks on the Master Farmer.
Ooh.
I've seen that come up
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
And most of the others just give you coins, so it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, your inventory does get full, and you can't keep going. Otherwise, I'd be at that cake stall in Dead Man.
I don't think it's too bad.
I don't normally go out of my way to encourage power leveling like this, but It's ham people.
Can't give you that much experience.
Even Master Farmers aren't that good for XP.
Did we ever change it so that the pickpocketing bonuses, like your gloves of silence, your Ardoin cape effects, work on ham people? Because at one point they didn't.
It wouldn't surprise me if they don't, but...
Just a thought.
I don't know. Because the centralised pickpocketing code, whether everything uses it, is another question.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe the elves did when I fixed the bug there.
All right. He's got another question saying, can items from implings, caught and opened from jars, fall to the floor if your inventory is full? Same idea. So that it does not require 2 inventory spaces. If you have a full inventory of impling jars, you have to destroy 2 to fill the loop.
Isn't part of the managing your inventory whole part of the game anyway?
I can understand it with the implings because previously you only ever got 1 item. And because we were adding clue scrolls or the potential for multiple items, we had to change it so that, I mean, you're going to get more than just your empty jar and your item. So it's pretty frustrating because most of the time you do just get 1 item. And you still requested that you need 3 slots. So I don't think it's the end of the world if the stuff drops to the floor. I mean...
Preferably not the clue scroll is all.
Yeah. But the thing is, you might not notice that it's dropped to the floor. So generally, when we do that thing, we give you a message to tell you your loot's dropped to the floor because you didn't have enough space. So we can do that.
Okay.
Might be nicer behaviour if they want that.
Xcag says, can the god staves have the ability to auto-cast their respective spells? Flames of Zamorak and Claws of Guthix both have a staff that can do this, but Ceremon Strike does not. Isn't there ideas of Aaron's coming with something similar to this?
We did talk about buffing our rims as if we were going to buff anything, we'd buff that rather than the things you just buy from a shop down the wilderness. But it does seem reasonable, and I know the autocast code is quite flexible for having different spells on different items. Quite flexible.
A lot of yeses in the chat. That's a question of where it comes from then.
Well, the Saradomin staff seems appropriate to have it. We may just have to look elsewhere for a buff to our rims.
Okay. Moving on.
We missed the one about the smouldering stone.
Oh, I did miss that. He has 3 questions. Well done. Can there be a message when a clue scroll drops so that it goes into your chat box, similar to the smoldering stone?
That would be possible because the thing that drops clue scrolls is centralised for all NPCs these days, so it would be quite easy to add.
Okay. Nissi says, would it be possible when a recoil ring breaks to break the one in your inventory instead of the one you're wearing?
That... Look,
it's
players are not meant to know about how this works.
But we tell them every live stream.
Yes.
What we could do if they want to have a ring that just keeps eating recoil rings and doesn't need you to keep clicking anything is to repole that thing for the Ring of Suffering
yep.
and have it eat recoil rings as it's charging.
You're not having that though. But the Ring of Suffering sounds good.
Next thing they'll be asking us to make rings stackable, so it's even
In fact, I don't think it would be beyond imagination to make them work on arbiters anyway.
Well, it'd be easy enough to do if we, for the Ring of Suffering. I wouldn't go and change the existing recoil rings.
Bob says, can we see an upgrade to the Explorer's backpack? An attachable toolkit with room for rope and other useful items would be a nice addition. Could come with diary or mini quest.
See, I like that. That's one of the ideas we went through with Artisan.
They're very
having a backpack you can stick a whole load of stuff
How
in and carry
about
around with you.
we make essentially a new invisible slot called the backpack, and you have all your tools in there and everything you can now
The
left click
inventory
and...
is a backpack.
It was a tool belt joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but your Explorer's got 2 backpacks.
that was a good
Two
joke.
backs.
If we did that, you would have to be able to take them out of your your backpack, before you do it. Otherwise, we do have to go to the idea of every gem needs a cut option, every log needs a burn option, and all that sort of stuff.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Difficulties.
Does it generate infinite tools if you take them out? Like,
Well, if it generated infinite ropes, that'd be fascinating.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I was thinking, I can't remember exactly how we did it in Artisan, but I think the way it was is you take items, you used your item on it, so it stored it in there, and then you took it out again, kind of like a leprechaun.
So
sitting
it's
on your back
stored
sort
if
of
you've got
thing.
them or not, yeah.
Which would be absolutely fine,
Yeah.
because we don't have a lot of places where we try to restrict you from carrying a rope past a guard or whatever, and any place where you don't want you carrying stuff, it wouldn't have allowed the backpack either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Bertho says, can we have higher tiered logs be able to be cut into more arrow shafts? Arrow shafts are only 4 GP each. It'd be a nice and easy way to get rid of unwanted logs if you wanted to.
How much are normal logs? Because
Like
they
20.
do keep a value because of this. But does anyone care?
Do people make a lot of headless arrows?
Arrow
it
shafts have to
depends.
come from somewhere.
It's the thing you do when fletching between levels like 2 and 6.
And that's enough arrow shafts to supply the whole
And then you
game.
go to like Willow.
And then there's achy trees for chompy hunting, where you don't have much choice about that kind of thing, which is deliberate. But I'm not sure how lots more arrow shafts is really going to revolutionise the fletching industry.
It's convenient for Iron Man, I believe is the main reason. They did do it in RS3. They made essentially the higher tier log, the better.
Well, in that case, I wouldn't mind.
I mean, I see no harm in doing it at all, to be honest.
Because Iron Men don't exactly revolutionise the economy in any direction.
All right. Adamy says, can we re-pull Fishing Trawler for Iron Man accounts? A minigame that is soloable. This one was very highly rated.
We told you earlier.
You had
that
warning
is
about this
before.
on.
Wasn't this question earlier in this?
So I asked the same question
stream?
twice. I totally...
No, the early one was add an activity bar. This one's ask for
okay,
Iron Man.
good,
But
thanks.
because
Not
we're
that
doing
bad.
an activity bar, that means you have to actually work. And the way Fishing Trawler works is you basically get the same reward, no matter what. But it's the amount of fish the trawler catches. It's just multiplied essentially by the number of people on the ship. And the more people on the ship also, the more likely the ship is to sink. So essentially when you're on there, if you're doing nothing, you're just ruining it for everyone else. And that's why an activity bar's a good reason. But if an Iron Man's also then on there, they've got to contribute. So I think it's a fair reason to allow Iron Man on, and then they can get the outfit.
Okay. So that's not as straightforward as Cheesy made it sound. Adamy, could the Mauritania Legs 4 be given unlimited teleports to the slime pits beneath the Ectofuntus?
I'd want to know about XP rates if we did that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
You're saying because the Barrows teleport has devalued them.
Yeah, well, we'd want to look at the XP rates.
If it doesn't affect the XP rate too much, I wouldn't mind. I think Gilded Altar would still be way better.
Sounds like something for Iron Man. A lot of Iron Man stuff today. There's another one right here. Goku says, will Iron Man be able to obtain/use any of the rewards from raids?
We were optimistic that the design I was telling you about for how to award points across a team but still have your own portion of them based on your own efforts would be fair enough that we could allow Iron Men to receive rewards like anyone else, because they'd have to have put the effort in themselves to get access
Very
to them.
similar to what we were just saying about Fishing Trawler, basically. You will get your rewards based on your contribution to the raid. So
Yeah. So
earned
with
it.
that, we were optimistic that we won't need a lot in the way of Iron Man restrictions. I mean, it was suggested we try to let Iron Men go, but only in a group of other Iron Men. I'm not sure I see the point in that, to be honest, because if you are benefiting from being in a team, then what does it matter if the team was full of Iron Men? But I'm hoping we can get the raids such that you can just go in there with whoever as an Iron person, and even if you don't use the trade interface, you should still be able to contribute to the raid and receive rewards commensurate with what you've done in there,
yeah.
if we can.
Okay. It's a meme, apparently.
Okay.
Well, so
Okay.
they didn't want to take one from the chat, but it is kind of six-ish anyway.
Sure. So that about concludes the stream, guys, aka my rose. Thank you guys for watching. This will be up on YouTube shortly. Aside from that, enjoy the Last Man Standing beta until potential release next week. And we'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye.